Today on Public Eye News, a large fire is ongoing in Escanaba. And later, the Marquette Police Department warns of a new Medicare scam targeting residents.
Tim Knapp will have your weather forecast for the next couple days. Later, Colin Morrison will bring you today's sports breakdown. I'm Emma Maratz.
And I'm Luke Niddle. This is Public Eye News. An industrial fire has broken out in Escanaba, south of Main Street. The blaze originally broke out at Race Ramps, a local business that makes ramps from plastic. Residents are advised to stay away from the area as particles containing industrial-grade plastic could still be contaminating the air. Residents are also advised to be aware of possible dirty water near the North Water Tower due to the fire. If you happen to run dirty water in your home, run the line for 5 to 10 minutes to clear the pipes. At this time, there is no announced cause for how the fire started. For more information, or if the dirty water persists, contact the City of Escanaba Water Department at 906-786-3291. And the Michigan Department of the Attorney General has concluded their investigation into an officer-involved shooting death this past May. The investigation came to the decision that the state trooper acted in self-defense when Stephen Wangara Mason was fatally shot. On May 10th, Wangara Mason was observed driving excessive speeds traveling southbound on M10 in Detroit, where an officer initiated a traffic stop after the vehicle was also discovered to be uninsured. When Wangara Mason was instructed to step out of the vehicle, a revolver that was concealed fell from his body at his feet, where both the trooper and Wangara Mason fought for control. While struggling to retrieve the gun, Wangara Mason shot at the trooper, striking him twice in the chest and once in the clavicle. The department concluded that the trooper acted with reasonable self-defense and that each of his orders were lawful.
The Marquette Police Department and the Marquette Senior Center are making the community aware of a potential Medicare scam. The potential scam is related to genetic testing. The scam is claimed to be through Medicare Part B, and after the testing is completed, the individual is notified about the test not being covered and is expected to pay for it. The population is being asked to be cautious of sharing personal information with unknown individuals. The Marquette Senior Center is able to help those in regards to Medicare questions. Northern Michigan University's Theater and Dance Department is running their show, Control-Alt-Delete, in the Panowski Black Box Theater. The show is a dark comedy that dives into tech startups, speculative investment, and how we use ideas. The show runs from October 30th to November 2nd, and then another set of shows from November 6th through the 9th. Set in the early 1990s early tech boom, the show follows the journey of future app developer Eddie Fisker and his tech startup. Shows are at 7:30 p.m. with a sensory-friendly show on November 8th. Tickets are $25 for the general public, $22 for NMU faculty and staff, and $5 for NMU students. There were 2 news strikes on boats that the Pentagon says were carrying drugs from Latin America, but these happened in the Pacific. Charlie D'Agata has the latest on those strikes.
Released by Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth Wednesday show boats in 2 separate military strikes. One vessel half loaded with black bundles, the second leaving behind parcels in the water after it burst into flames.
We have the greatest weapons in the world, and you see a little bit of it there. One shot, everyone dead center.
These are the first 2 strikes announced in the Pacific, totaling 9 known strikes in less than 2 months. One boat was taken out in the eastern Pacific Ocean, the other off the coast of Colombia, which produces 90% of the cocaine that eventually is sold in the United States. At least 37 people have been killed in the strike so far. The president argues thousands more have been saved.
Every one of those boats that gets knocked out is saving 25,000 American lives.
But the White House released no evidence about who was on board the boats or what exactly they were carrying at the time.
If the United States military is going to use lethal force, basically, no trial, we're just going to fire the shots and kill people, you need to be 100% clear on why, what you're doing, and what it's supposed to be accomplishing. There is no clarity on that coming from the White House.
The administration has designated the cartels as terrorist organizations and claims the strikes are legitimate because the U.S. is engaged in an armed conflict. On Wednesday, Trump said his war on cartels may soon expand further.
We will hit them very hard when they come in by land, and they haven't experienced that yet, but now we're totally prepared to do that.
Charlie D'Agata, CBS News, Washington.
Now don't touch that dial. We'll be right back with weather and statewide news after this break.
I'm Mike Settles. On the next Media Meet, we continue our discussion about the Copperwood project in the Western UP. Last week, we heard from backers of the project who feel the return of copper mining will result in a better economy. This week, we hear from opponents who say environmental and quality of life concerns will far outweigh any benefits that might be realized. Contemplating Copperwood, the opponents opine. Next time on Media Meet.
Welcome back to Public Eye News. I'm Tim Knapp here with your weather report. Taking a look at the roof cam, we see some sun shining through and students walking by. It's a great day to get out there. Taking a look at current temperatures now, up in Houghton, it's 43 degrees and cloudy. In Ironwood, it's 38 degrees and rainy. In Iron Mountain, it's 41 degrees and rainy. And down in Menominee, it's 48 degrees and cloudy. Moving across the map now, in Escanaba, it's 48 degrees and cloudy. In Manistee, it's 43 degrees and rainy. And Sault Ste. Marie, it's 41 degrees and rainy. And back home in Marquette, 43 degrees and partly cloudy. Current conditions, as I mentioned, is partly cloudy, winds out of the northwest at 20 miles an hour. And our barometric pressure is 29.99 inches and rising. Tonight, we're looking at showers with a high of 38 degrees and winds out of the northwest at 10 miles an hour. Moon phase is a waxing crescent. Tomorrow, it's partly sunny with a high of 46 and a low of 40, winds out of the northwest at 10 miles an hour. Looking ahead, this weekend, it's going to be great. Saturday, a high of 53 and a low of 37, partly cloudy. Sunday, a high of 57, a low of 42 and sunny. And Monday, a high of 55, a low of 43 and partly sunny. Now, back to the desk.
Thank you for that weather report, Tim. I certainly have been feeling those chilly rains earlier in the week when I was walking to class. Now, going into some statewide news, Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer has signed an executive order further increasing accessibility to affordable housing to young Michiganders. During her time in office, Governor Whitmer has made it a sticking point to create more affordable housing, especially for those in the 18 to 35 age bracket. In 2021, Governor Whitmer created Michigan's first ever statewide housing plan, promising a goal of creating or revitalizing at least 75,000 homes in 5 years. After hitting that 75,000 mark this past August, the new number has been set at 115,000. Since 2023, over $2 billion has been invested by Governor Whitmer into upgraded affordable housing access. And a brand new program in the Mass Timber Catalyst program has started up in the state, encouraging builders to use lumber, a highly sustainable resource. Using large engineered beams intended for skyscrapers, the Catalyst program intends to take advantage of Michigan's strong forest product economy, generating roughly $26 billion annually. A demand for manufactured timber signals a potential factory filling in that need, with studies supporting the claim. A study conducted by Michigan State University found that a facility producing 100,000 cubic meters of mass lumber could produce up to $300 million to contribute to Michigan's overall GDP. The program will also include awards for applications for teams that range anywhere from $25,000 to $75,000. And new global pressure mounting on Russia after President Trump announced heavy sanctions on the country's two biggest oil companies. This comes as the White House pushes Russian President Vladimir Putin to end his war in Ukraine, which grows more deadly by the day. CBS's Jared Hill has the latest.
After the U.S. announced a new round of sanctions on Russia, this morning more international pressure to end the war in Ukraine, with the European Union issuing sanctions of its own.
We waited for this. God bless, it will work.
This comes as President Trump abandoned plans for a second summit with Russia's President Putin.
Every time I speak with Vladimir, I have good conversations, and then they don't go anywhere.
The change less than a week after Trump reportedly suggested Ukraine should give up territory to Russia to help end the war. But then a planned call between Secretary of State Marco Rubio and his Russian counterpart fell through. Now the Treasury Department is announcing new sanctions on Russia's two largest oil companies. The Treasury Secretary posting they, quote, fund the Kremlin's war machine. The new economic pressure on Putin comes the same day Russian drones struck multiple civilian sites in Ukraine, including a house where a mother and two children were found dead, and a kindergarten, killing at least one adult while children hid in a shelter. The sanctions met with approval by NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte.
I'm absolutely convinced that with sustained pressure we will be able to get Putin to the table.
While Ukraine's European allies say they're against any push to make Kyiv surrender captured land, President Trump, as recently as this weekend, has contended otherwise.
They should stop right now at the battle lines. Go home, stop killing people, and be done.
With Russia's war dragging on into its 4th year. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with some sports after this short break.
Spatchcock Funk in the house, our house, and your house too. You know where the party's at? Wherever you're at. We're gonna teach you how to throw the best parties, the best dinners, the best get-togethers. All you need are the people that you love, and we'll take care of the rest. So load up that playlist in your cooler, turn up the speakers, and fire up the fryer because you're going all in. The Spatchcock Funk. Dope food, strong drinks, great stories.
Thursday afternoon at 4:30.
Welcome back. This is Colin Morrison with your sports stories today, starting with Detroit Red Wings hockey. The Red Wings left Buffalo with a 2-4 loss after an outstanding performance from Buffalo's goaltender Colton Ellis, a rookie making his first NHL start. The third-round pick goaltender saved 27 of 29 shots on goal against Detroit, boasting an impressive save shot percentage of 93%. The main difference maker in this game was keeping momentum, as both Detroit and Buffalo had 2 goals in the second period, but only the Sabres were able to keep scoring in the third, leaving Detroit behind and winning the night. This loss brings the Red Wings to a 5-2 record, second in the Atlantic Division behind the Montreal Canadiens. Tonight, the Red Wings face off against the New York Islanders at 7 p.m. Staying in hockey news, the NMU Wildcat hockey team is welcoming #1 ranked Michigan State this Friday and Saturday. The former CCHA division rivals are meeting at the Barry Event Center for an intense matchup. NMU has a positive home record against the Sparties at 15-12-1, and NMU will need to be one of the strongest MSU teams in recent history to keep it that way. The Wildcats have an 0-6 record to start the season, but don't let that number fool you, as NMU has also had an incredibly tough schedule, facing off exclusively against ranked teams, namely number 15 ranked UMass, number 16 ranked Ohio State, and most recently number 19 ranked Colorado College. There is no better way to show your support as a fan than coming in person to cheer on NMU as they face the best team in the country, and you can get tickets now at nmu.universitytickets.com. NMU hockey isn't the only team with a tough ranked matchup this weekend, as NMU women's soccer will be traveling to number 5 ranked Grand Valley State and Ferris State this Friday and Saturday respectively. The 3-6-4 Wildcat team is coming off of last weekend's losses against Saginaw State and Davenport, and this team has struggled lately with scoring, not being able to score a point in the last 3 games. Against Davenport, NMU was able to get 18 shots on goal, but not a single one went inside the net. Coach Aaron Egolf stressed good decision-making and capitalizing on opportunities as major focal points for the Wildcat team, and looks forward to showing it against 10-2 Grand Valley State team this Friday and building on it against 4-4-5 Ferris State this Saturday. That's all I have for sports. Now back to the news desk.
Thank you, Colin, for that sports update. Luke, I'm really excited about hockey this weekend, aren't you?
Oh yeah, it's always exciting to see a #1 ranked team. I hear you have a couple more stories for us.
I do. Aspirus Rhinelander has been honored with the 2025 Crystal Vision Award. The award was given by the Lions Eye Bank of Wisconsin, or LEBW. The award focuses on organizations that show great progress in organ donation. The LEBW reported that Aspirus Rhinelander had 29 referrals and 11 medically suitable donors. The 58th annual Fall Semester Job Fair is taking place on October 29th from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. in the Northern Center Ballroom. Employers are welcome to attend and recruit students. If students and alumni are interested, there will be a raffle where 10 $25 gift cards are going to be given out. The fair is free for all to attend.
Well, very interesting, but with that, we're out of time here in Public Eye News Today. I'm Luke Niddle.
And I'm Emma Maratz.
We'll see you tomorrow.
The preceding program was produced by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television, in studios located in Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall.